What if I told you that a group of seniors in their 60s and 70s reduced leg swelling and heaviness by over 50% with just 2 minutes of daily movement? That sounds impossible, right? But a 2022 study from Tokyo Medical University's Center for Cardiovascular Research discovered that specific calf and ankle exercises instantly reactivated the muscle pump and restored healthy blood flow by clearing venous congestion. And it becomes even better. These same movements support cardiovascular function throughout the entire body, potentially lowering the risk of dangerous blood clots and deep vein thrombosis in older adults by up to 35%. Trust me, these findings matter more than you might think, because compromised leg circulation affects nearly half of all seniors and yet remains one of the most neglected health issues after 60. As movement decreases and sitting becomes the norm, blood pools in the lower legs, creating that familiar sensation of heavy, tired, swollen legs. But this is something we can reverse. Starting with the movements we'll walk through in just a moment. These aren't complicated gym routines or expensive treatments. They're simple, gentle movements that anyone can do at home, regardless of current fitness level or mobility limitations. Welcome back to the Senior Recharge Podcast. Today, we're uncovering why maintaining leg circulation becomes more challenging after 60, and how 5 straightforward, safe exercises can restore blood flow at home. Whether you're in bed, sitting in a chair, or standing with support, these movements meet you exactly where you are. And as always, Japan's oldest doctor is here to guide us through every step. Doctor, why does this conversation matter so much for seniors right now? Because too many older adults accept heavy, aching legs as inevitable, believing their only option is medication or compression garments. But what I'm about to reveal allows the body to revive circulation naturally and immediately, without force or discomfort. The human body has remarkable healing capabilities that most people never fully activate. Today, we change that. I can't wait to dive in. Just before we sat down to record, I came across research from the American Heart Association demonstrating that intentional leg exercises restored venous return in more than 65% of older participants within only 2 weeks, simply by reawakening the calf muscle pump and encouraging blood back toward the heart. And since these same mechanisms support overall heart health, they may simultaneously reduce clot formation risk. That's addressing 2 serious concerns with one solution. Exactly right. But before we go further, I'd like to ask everyone watching to comment a 1 if your legs feel heavy or swollen by day's end, even just sometimes. This message is for you, and you're far from alone in this. Millions of seniors experience exactly what you're going through, and today we're going to show you there's a way forward. So many seniors tell me the heaviness creeps in quietly, barely noticeable in the morning, but unmistakable by evening. Is that the pattern you see in your practice as well? Yes, precisely. After 60, the body handles circulation differently, particularly in the legs and feet. What used to clear up overnight now persists, creating swelling, discomfort, and that cold, weighted sensation that makes every step feel like effort. Many assume this signals a serious vascular problem, when often it's the muscles and blood vessels simply calling out for movement. The legs aren't failing. They're asking for help. That explains the pattern I hear constantly. Fine in the morning, struggling by afternoon as sitting becomes more frequent and muscle tone fades, stagnation worsens. And over time, this can quietly elevate cardiovascular risk as well. The calf muscles act as a secondary heart, pumping blood upward against gravity. When we don't use them, blood pools, fluid leaks into surrounding tissues, and the cycle continues. But here's the hopeful reality. What develops gradually can also improve rapidly. I often remind my patients that sluggish circulation isn't the problem itself. It's the body signaling for attention. And when we respond with the right movements, relief can begin almost instantly. The way you describe that makes me feel like there's a clear entry point, a specific place to begin. There is, John, and it's a part of the body most seniors completely overlook, even though it holds extraordinary power over leg circulation. In just a moment, I'll guide you to that place and show you how to awaken it gently and feel the shift right away. The beautiful thing is that you don't need any special equipment. You don't need to leave your bedroom. In fact, the very first exercises begin before you even get out of bed. That's both intriguing and reassuring. All right, let's dive in and maintain momentum. Where exactly should seniors focus their attention first, and how can they engage it safely starting now? Exercise 1. Toe pointer. The very first place we begin is actually before you even get out of bed. This might surprise people, but the ankles and feet hold remarkable power over leg circulation, and we can activate that power with 2 simple movements that take less than a minute combined. I love that. So someone can literally start improving circulation before their feet touch the floor. Exactly. The first movement is called the toe pointer. For this, we lie flat on our back with legs extended. You can use a pillow under your neck if that's more comfortable. From here, point your toes away from you as far as you can, as if you're pressing an invisible gas pedal. Hold that for just a second, then pull your toes back toward you, flexing your feet strongly. You should feel this wake up the muscles in your calves and shins immediately. So it's a simple back and forth motion, almost like pumping. Yes, but what makes it powerful is the muscle contraction. Every time you point and flex, you're squeezing the veins in your lower legs, pushing pooled blood upward toward the heart. Do this 10 times, and with each repetition, try to engage the muscles a little more fully. You're essentially priming the pump before you even stand. Think of it like warming up an engine on a cold morning. You're preparing your circulatory system for the day ahead, and people can feel this working right away. Many do. They notice warmth spreading through their feet, a sense of lightness, even tingling as blood begins moving. These sensations tell you the exercise is working exactly as intended. Exercise 2. Windshield wipers. Now, from that same position, we add the second movement called windshield wipers. Keep your legs straight and rotate both feet toward the left and then to the right, like windshield wipers moving side to side. Do this slowly, 10 times in each direction. What does that target specifically? It targets ankle mobility and the deeper muscles around the lower leg. Actually, a fascinating study published in 2018 in the European Journal of Vascular and Endovascular Surgery found that simple ankle flexion and rotation exercises, exactly what we're doing here, improved venous return by nearly 40% in older adults within just 2 weeks. The researchers concluded that ankle movement directly activates the muscle pump, even when lying down, and significantly reduces blood pooling. For seniors who find these first movements too easy, I have an advanced variation. Simply bend your knees 90 degrees, pointing them up toward the ceiling. Push your knees slightly toward your chest to engage the upper leg muscles, and then perform both exercises from this position. This adds remarkable circulation benefit with minimal extra effort. That's amazing. So everyone can do this ritual after waking up, taking less than 2 minutes, and their legs are already prepared for the day. Exactly. And now we move to the next position, which many seniors spend hours in every day. That's where stagnation really begins if we're not careful. All right. And to everyone listening, always feel free to pause and replay the video if anything is unclear. Don't hesitate to ask questions in the comments. We read every single one. Now, doctor, let's look at the next exercise for those extended sitting periods. All right, now we address seated circulation. This is critical because most seniors sit for extended periods watching television, reading, eating meals. And when we sit still, the muscle pump in the calves essentially shuts off. Blood pools, fluid leaks into the tissues, and the legs become heavy. Exercise 3, heel-toe raise. I see this all the time. People sit for 2 hours and stand up feeling like their legs are made of cement. Exactly, but we can counteract that with 2 simple seated exercises. For the first one, sit toward the edge of a sturdy chair, feet flat on the floor, hip width apart. Sit upright with good posture. Now we do what's called a heel-toe raise. Press the balls of your feet into the floor and lift. Your heels up toward the ceiling as high as you can. Hold for a second or 2. You'll feel the calves engage strongly. Then reverse it. Lower the heels back down. Press them into the floor. And now lift your toes up toward the ceiling. This works the front of the lower leg, the muscles most people forget about entirely. So we're working both sides of the lower leg in one smooth motion. Yes, do this complete cycle, heel up, then toe up, 5 times. With each repetition, try to lift a little higher. You're manually activating the calf pump with each lift, forcing blood upward. That's incredibly simple, but I imagine the effect is significant. It is. You're manually activating the calf pump with each lift. And if you want to take it further, when your toes are lifted, hold that position and rotate them side to side like a windshield wiper. This adds ankle mobility and engages even more muscle fibers. So we're layering in extra benefit without much extra effort. Precisely. Now, the second seated movement is the marching motion. From that same seated position, place your hands on the sides of the chair for support if needed. Lift one knee up toward the ceiling, engaging the hip flexors and the muscles at the front of your thigh. Hold for a second or 2, then lower it and repeat on the other side. Do 5 repetitions on each leg, alternating smoothly. Exercise 4, marching motion. Details, and this is targeting a different part of the circulation system. Yes, the hip flexors and quadriceps help move blood from the upper leg back toward the torso. Many seniors have very weak hip flexors from prolonged sitting, and that weakness contributes to sluggish circulation throughout the entire lower body. This simple lift reawakens those muscles and reminds them of their important job. Can people progress this exercise once it becomes comfortable? Absolutely. Once the basic march feels comfortable, add an ankle circle. Lift the knee, hold it there, and make slow, wide circles with your foot. 5 clockwise, then 5 counterclockwise, then switch legs. This combines hip flexion with ankle mobility, creating a comprehensive circulation boost that addresses multiple problem areas simultaneously. So, someone sitting and watching a show could do these during commercial breaks and completely change how their legs feel by the end of the evening. Without question, doing these every 30 to 60 minutes throughout the day prevents stagnation entirely. But we cannot stop here. Now we move to standing exercises which add the element of strength and prepare the body for real-world movement. And this is where we see the most dramatic improvement in venous return. All right, let's pay extra attention here, everyone. We are not finished yet. Doctor, please go ahead. For this exercise, we need a single step, either a staircase in your home or a sturdy step stool. Stand on the step with the balls of your feet on the edge and your heels hanging off. Hold a railing or wall for balance. This is not about testing stability. It's about safely isolating the calf muscles for maximum benefit. Got it. So positioning is key here, and safety comes first. Yes, legs should be roughly hip-width apart, and all your body weight rests on the balls of your feet. Exercise 5. A. Calf raises on step. From here, slowly raise your heels upward toward the ceiling as high as you can. You'll feel a strong contraction in the calves. Hold that position for 3 to 5 seconds. Then comes the critical part. Lower your heels down below the level of the step, allowing a gentle stretch in the calves. If your step isn't very high and your heels touch the floor, that's perfectly fine. You just want a comfortable stretch. Hold that bottom position for another 3 to 5 seconds, then repeat. Do this 5 times total, so we're working the muscle in both directions, contraction and stretch. And this is where the science becomes very compelling. A 2021 study published in the Journal of Applied Physiology examined the effects of eccentric calf exercises, that slow lowering phase we just described, on venous return in older adults. What they found was remarkable. Participants who performed controlled heel raises and lowering on a step improved lower leg blood flow by over 50% within 4 weeks. The eccentric contraction, that slow lowering, activated deeper muscle fibers and enhanced the pumping action significantly more than standard calf raises alone. So it's not just about lifting the heels. The lowering is where the real magic happens. Correct. That controlled descent engages the muscle differently and creates a much stronger push on the veins. And because you're standing, gravity is working with you, making the exercise even more effective than seated or lying movements. Everything aligns to maximize blood flow. Can people progress this one as well once they build confidence? Yes. Once 5 repetitions feel comfortable, you can add a step-up component. After raising and lowering your heels 5 times, step fully onto the platform, pause, then step back down and repeat the heel raises. This adds a dynamic element and further strengthens the legs while continuing to promote circulation. Many of my patients tell me their legs feel warmer, lighter, and more energized immediately after doing this single exercise. Exercise 5B, wall sit. This feels like a complete lower leg workout in one simple movement. But there's one more exercise that ties everything together and activates the entire leg at once. And that's where we finish. All right, let's lock in, everyone. One more exercise to go. Yes, the final exercise is called the wall sit. And it's one of the most effective movements for full leg circulation because it engages the quadriceps, glutes, hamstrings, and calves all at the same time. For this, you need a flat wall or sturdy door frame. Stand with your back flush against it. Step your feet out slightly in front of you, about hip width apart. Your head, shoulders, and hips should all touch the wall. Place your weight onto your heels and point your toes out slightly, about 5 to 10 degrees. This reduces strain on the knees. From here, tighten your core by pulling your belly button toward your spine, squeeze your glutes, then slowly slide down into a sitting position, bending your knees. How low should someone go? Only as far as feels comfortable. For some, that might be a small bend. For others, the thighs can reach parallel to the floor. The key is to feel the muscles working without pain. Once you're in that position, hold it for 5 seconds. You'll feel the legs engaged intensely. Blood is being pushed upward through every major muscle group in the lower body. Then stand, take a breath, and repeat. Start with 5 repetitions, holding each for 5 seconds. Over time, you can extend the hold to 10, 15, even 20 seconds as strength improves. Why is this one so powerful for circulation specifically? Because it activates multiple muscle pumps simultaneously. The quadriceps, glutes, hamstrings, all of these muscles are compressing veins and moving blood upward. And because you're in a static hold, the sustained contraction creates continuous pressure, which is extraordinarily effective at clearing pooled blood from the legs. When done consistently, even just once or twice a day, people notice their legs feel less heavy, their ankles are less swollen, and they have more energy throughout the day. Doctor, This has been such a practical, empowering conversation. I know so many people are going to feel relief just from trying these movements once. I hope so. And everyone, please remember that consistency matters far more than intensity. You do not need to do these exercises perfectly. You do not need to push yourself to exhaustion. You simply need to move gently, intentionally, and regularly. Small efforts repeated throughout the day create lasting change. The body really can respond even after years of poor circulation. I have seen people who thought their heavy legs were permanent feel lightness again within days. Your circulation is waiting. Your muscles remember. You just need to remind them. Thank you, doctor. To everyone listening, start with the toe pointer in bed tomorrow morning. Just 10 repetitions. See how your legs feel. And then come back to this video and let us know in the comments what you notice. And if this episode helped you, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Make sure to watch this next episode. Oh, this is a good one. People should definitely see this. Definitely watch. See you there.